Tuesday evening to all of you. Fantastic. Second day of the week in progress now. We're going to finish that very soon. I believe you have achieved whatever you planned for today. Okay, and you're progressing well for this week also. Okay, so most of you might have completed the work and coming, trying to start back home. You might be commuting, and I would like you just quickly plug in your headset and just listen me for next 10-15 minutes because today what I'm going to share with you is something most of us really struggle in our day-to-day life, day-to-day projects, because we we keep silence when we have to speak. Okay, and I'm going to share with you a particular situation of your day-to-day job, uh, where you put yourself, you become enemy, you create this, you actually not take the right strategy, implement the right strategy, and you decide not to speak, and because of that you lose your visibility and you lose your influence also. Okay, and I'm going to share with you that situation very soon, in so just plug in your headsets and listen me. Those who are in the office, who are still working and you trying to fix that last bit and submit the work, okay, that's fine. I would like you to just find 10-15 minutes to listen me again, because this is going to help your problem, which is coming in the future with you if you don't speak properly. There's the situation which is going to be very crucial, which I'm going to share with you, and you face this every day in the meetings. Okay, when someone try to take the credit of your work, that's what the situation I'm going to discuss more in detail. So but before I go into the topic today, I would like to quickly introduce myself to all those who are very new, first time listening to me. Okay, everyone, good evening to all of you. Welcome to this live talk. Okay, this is your coach, leadership coach, Tushar Chaudhary. I help mid senior project managers to grow into influential leaders. Okay, and why I'm working on you guys, mid senior people, because what I realized for last 22 plus years of my corporate experience, when I worked with building high performing teams, I realized mid career project managers who are very good into their topic, they actually get trapped into that comfort zone of experience and performance, because you like your subject and you enjoy doing that work, and you think that you're doing great work because you're performing also, and you think that the people at the top will be considering this performance as a criteria for you getting selected for the leadership role. That's not the truth. That's not the right strategy, and this is not what actually the corporate are really looking right now. People in the organization, the senior leadership in the organization, they're looking from you is to go beyond the projects and solve the bigger problems. Okay, because you have to influence people, bring them together, and get the things done. So if you stuck only with the projects, you feel that you're doing great. Okay, but the people at the top, they don't see you as a leader, so there's a huge perception gap. And that perception gap, if that not filled up properly, if you don't work on it, this frustration will increase again, but because your years of experience is still growing. So I strongly believe that your experience do not compound, your performance also do not compound. What compounds is the influence you create in the organization, and that influence will help you to fill that gap. Okay, the perception gap between what you think and what others think about you. Okay, that is where I actually help you guys. So that's about me. Now let's go and discuss the today's topic. Now, I want to start with something uncomfortable. Okay. And I want to ask you a question. So tell me, have you ever done the hard work, stayed late nights, solved the problem, and you handle the pressure? And in the project meetings, your team meetings, someone, your colleague, taking the credit of your work. And you sit there thinking, should I say something? No, if I say something, what people will think? Okay, let it go, not worth it. And slowly your confidence drops, your visibility disappears, your growth slows down. Yeah, let me tell you this, the truth here. This is not the credit problem, this is a visibility and voice problem. I realized this deeply when I read a book, Give and Take by Adam Grant. And he explained in that book that the givers succeed only when they learn to claim visibility. for their contribution. Okay, please note this down. Givers succeed only when they learn to claim visibility for their contribution. Otherwise, others will define your value for you. Yeah, I'll tell you the real workplace example from my project experiences. I was leading a team and working on a complex delivery challenge. And one of my team members and I worked closely to fix a major risk on that delivery. We stayed late hours. We worked for late hours. We reworked the plan. We aligned the stakeholders, and the next day, in the leadership meeting, our colleague presented the solution, and it sounded like he owned the entire idea, you know, and everyone appreciated him. And I was sitting there quiet, and that moment hit me hard. Not because he spoke, but because I did not. Okay? Because I did not. And that day I understood that silence is highly expensive. If you do not speak, people don't assume you contributed. People don't assume, people assume you did not. Okay? So, how to deal with such a situation when you are frustrated inside and you know that this is not correct, this is not right happening. So how will you deal with this situation? So I want to give you three practical phrases that you can use in this situation and you can still claim back your space, your spot, your credit. Okay? So the phrase number one, first practical phrase, let me add to that. Okay, this is the most powerful non-confrontational entry. So instead of saying, actually, this is my work, how can you claim that one? Instead of saying this, say, okay, let me add to that one. We explored this approach based on XYZ. You know what happened here? You enter the conversation smoothly. You claim your space and you do not create conflict. Yeah. So your colleague who you work with, he claiming that this is the work he done because he was speaking like that. So rather than you fighting on that one, yeah, yeah, actually this is my idea. Rather than doing that one, I want you to say, the moment he finished, let me add to that point. We explored this approach based on what? Okay, what happened here? You didn't have any defensive, you're not attack on anything. Okay, you did not show that you are desperate about something. You enter the conversation smoothly and you claim your contribution, your space, and you didn't create any conflict with anyone. And I learned this from the book called Still the Show by Michael Port. Now Michael, he talks about owning the stage without fighting for it. So leadership is not loudness, it is a presence. Leadership is not loudness, it is a presence. Okay. So this was the phrase number one. Now phrase number two, building on what was shared, dot dot dot. Now this phrase shows maturity. You can say, building on what my colleagues shared, my team worked on the risk analysis and we found XYZ. Now you are what you're doing here, you are giving the credit, at the same time you're taking the credit. You're showing leadership maturity. Okay, building on what was shared by my colleague, my team worked on the risk analysis and we found a bug here, we found this challenge and we worked on it and we come up with a process, something like that. So you're giving the credit, at the same time you're taking the credit and you're showing a matured leadership behavior. And you know what? This connects now this entire behavior. This connects strongly with one of the book which I read by Liz Wiseman. The book is Multipliers. Now, Lees explain in this book that great leaders, they amplify others while not shrinking themselves. Okay, you don't have to shrink yourself, but you can amplify other. At the same time, you take your credit also. Yeah. So that's the phrase number two. Phrase number three. One thing I want to highlight. See, when things are moving fast in the meetings, use this phrase. One thing I want to highlight in this approach we took to solve this for. One thing I want to highlight is the approach we took to solve this XYZ. Now, this brings attention back to your contribution. Okay, please, this is a hook. You are creating a hook for people to come and see and give you attention. One thing I want to highlight is the approach we took to solve this. No, calm, clear, assertive. Now, this what I have just shared with you, the third phrase, which aligns with another book. I read this book called Presence by Amy Cuddy. Now, people don't remember everything what you said, but they remember how confidently you show up. Okay, they don't remember what you said. It's they only remember your confidence, how confidently you show up. Now, you might be having this question. That's fine, Tushar. These are the great phrases you shared with us. But actually, how to bring this mindset change? See, there are three practical shifts I want you to do. Right? The first shift is I, I want you to move from silent to visible mode. See, if you don't speak, you don't exist. You don't exist in that room. Do you agree with me? Type yes in the comment section. So that's mean you have to speak. And second, I want you to move from that emotional mindset to strategic mindset. Don't get hurt by doing someone is doing like that. You have to build upon that one. Don't react with frustration. Respond with positioning. You have to position and you have to add that strategic, that tactic there. Okay. And the third is I want you to move from credit seeking approach to value projecting approach. Don't fight for credit. You know, try to show value that you offered so clearly that people will give you credit. Okay, so rather than moving to credit seeking, go to value projecting. Yeah, these are the three mindset shifts I want you to implement straight away if you come across such a situation in your job. Okay, now we are coming to the close of this topic, today's live talk. So next time someone takes credit for your work, don't get frustrated, don't show your emotional reactions, don't get angry, and first, most important, don't stay silent. Step in with clarity, because your career your career will not grow based on how long hours you're working or late hours you're working or weekends you're burning. Nope. It will grow based on how visible you are, as I mentioned to you, how confident people remember your confidence and how you show up confidently. Okay, if this resonates with you, whatever I just shared with you, I want you to comment visible in the comment section. And in case if you are experiencing this challenge in the office right now, how to deal with such a situation, people are taking credit of your work and you're not able to speak properly. You're not able to take that things done do that things properly, to take your credit back or show your presence there. Absolutely, it will affect your visibility in the organization, and this is where you need to work on yourself. Yeah, and that's why I invite you for a one-to-one call with me, for leadership strategy call. And the link in the comment section. You can go to my LinkedIn profile, and there is book an appointment with me. Okay, so yeah, and good thing is there is a webinar is scheduled on Sunday, the coming Sunday, at 10 o'clock. I call it as a project leadership mastery. and or you can connect with me there directly. This webinar is for you to move into more challenging leadership roles. Okay, so opportunity is there. The link will be in the comment section again, and I would like to see you in the webinar on Sunday at 10 a.m. Until that moment tomorrow, when I'll come back again with another leadership insight, and I would like you to implement all the learnings which I shared with you, the three phrases and the three mindset shifts you required for handling. If someone is taking your the credit of your work, how will you handle this effectively? Okay, so implement all these things, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until that moment, take care of yourself and God bless you.